Hello, and in today's video we're going to be checking out the Bogren BDE 120. This amp is styled after the Engel Savage. Now first things first with this amp, I actually don't know anything about the original that it's trying to model itself off, which I think is an advantage. I think it's a good thing. I don't know anything about it, so we can play anything with it and just see how it responds. And in your own view from how I will play it in this demonstration, you can see if you want to check it out further. To do that, you can check out the link below in the description to find out how you can get your hands on this plugin. And with that in mind, I should say that this video is sponsored by Bogren. They reached out to me to make this video, but it is all down to my own view. You can check out the last video I made for Bogren here, which is an amp styled after the legendary Diesel VH4. For my demonstrations, I'm going to be using my Manson MB New Era. It's got coil tap and a Sustainiac and a fuzz pedal built in, so it's quite a versatile guitar and we can get a lot out of it. Bogren make their one knob amps to that effect, exactly one knob. Very limited in terms of your control, making it much easier to just open up a plugin and play. The original amp has quite a lot of controls, as we can see in this image here. It's just filled with gain, EQ control, presence, everything you could possibly want to manipulate and change. That sounds great on the surface when you're playing with a real physical amp, where all sorts of things can be done to change how the amp sounds. Not just those controls, but the cabinet that you use and the microphones that you use. What Bogren do is remove the paralysis of choice and give you just essentially, in this case, a gain control and two buttons, which are the channel selection and then a pedal boost as well. Many people may get caught up in kind of dialing in that EQ from the amp, but with this, it just gives you all the controls kind of taken care of and you can just dial in that gain. So the more distortion, the more gain. The BDE 120 Mark II comes with two cabinets preloaded, a modern and a vintage one, and it also gives you the ability to put in your own IRs. For the purpose of this video and these demonstrations I will do, I will not be demonstrating separate IRs. We're going to stick with just the modern cabinet. Otherwise we just get stuck in a whole realm of choice paralysis. Hopefully that makes it much easier for you with what this thing can do and finding out how you can take it further. The other way that you can manipulate the EQ is like within Logic, as I use, by just using an EQ plugin. Now it's not exactly how an amp would have its EQ altered, but it's another way of doing it. For this demonstration, I'm not going to do anything like that. We're just going to stick with just the plugin and just the modern cab. Okay, so with all that set up, we know what the plugin looks like, we know what controls we have. Let's see what it can do. Okay, so we have the plugin right here in front of us. We can see power, pedal, gain, and channel. This is effectively everything that we can control. So we first have the power button, which bypasses the amp. Which is a nice touch, and I like that it kind of feathers in the signal with the amp. If we just do this. It's a nice little touch. They do it on all their amps. It makes it feel a bit more alive, a bit more organic. It's a really minor touch. I love it. Pedal button, we will look at that specifically when we do some demos in just a moment. A gain control going from 0 to 10, 0 to 10, and then a channel control going from orange to red. And that is it. They really do make it very low profile, not a lot to control, letting you just focus on playing. To demonstrate this amp, we're going to go with everything down to the lowest amount of gain possible, and this is what we have. It's not clean, it's got grit behind it, and that's with everything down as much as possible. The only other alternative, if you wanted to get a cleaner tone, is to roll back on the guitar. But with what this amp is supposed to do, we don't want clean. So we're going to go to 5, halfway, still on channel 1A, orange, however you want to call it. So we've got, you know, a lot more gain. What does that do? It's tight. It's not really, it's not that flabby. So let's see if it retains that. Let's just see what that pedal does. So we are on the first channel, gain maxed with that pedal on. So this is as intense as it can get for this first channel. It's still retaining that tightness. It's pushing it a little bit further. Let's just flip between the pedal and it on and off. It's really sharpening those mids, I think. This is the point in the video where I tell you to like and subscribe if you're enjoying it. Hopefully you are, and let me know what you think about it so far down in the comments below. Back to the action. I'm all about mids when I play guitar and want to get something that really cuts through, because that's where the guitar sings, and this is really focusing on that. It's got a nice amount of like high-end hiss to it, so it helps it cut through a mix in a subtle way. It's not overpowering. You can roll that off if you go down to that vintage cab, I imagine, or if you roll some of that with an EQ, but be careful with it. You want to retain some of that fizz because it does disappear and it helps stick that out. Now let's try the next channel. There is a lot more low-end grit coming through, so it might add a bit more to that kind of low end, which can be a bit overpowering. But so far, it's all right. That's got so much body and clarity to it. I love that there's actually no EQ to play around with, because it's what it's got as on its own is great. I don't know what those settings would be that they've used to emulate this amp, and I don't care because what they've got is great. And I think my own biases would then potentially come in, because I'm all about like pushing mids all the way through, and maybe that is just a wrong approach that I have. And what this has got, I think, sounds great. But let's push this to 5. It's not got that low-end rumble that's kind of masking and muddying up that tone. It's cutting through really nicely. I think it's cutting through better than the BVH is doing. You'll have to go and watch the video that I made for it to kind of see where I'm coming from. But we are focused, lazily focused on the 120 here. Maxing out the gain, the pedal is still off. put that pedal on, let's max this thing out. This is everything that it could possibly do. It can go quite hard. I mean, I wouldn't use this for anything kind of other than like a big riff, or something like that, because that's going so hard. But I like that the most that this has to offer is more than what I would use, so there's actually a lot of breathing room. There is a lot of gain with this, and you don't even need to hit that pedal button to really get a lot out of it. That pedal button is just a boost if you want to do soloing. We're just scratching the surface with this, but hopefully this is giving you the idea that there is so much to get out of this. Now, I did say that this is sponsored by Bogren, and it is, and of course you think that I'm going to give a positive review of it. I am trying to be as transparent as possible. This isn't the sort of thing that I would go for in terms of like an amp plugin, like straight away on my own without knowing. But having played around with it, I do really like it, and it's a great option to play around with. Part of my mind is wanting to get more control with like EQs, but that's just where I am. But I think I'd be comfortable with just using an EQ plugin to change things around if I needed to, but I think it's set up really well. And the other easy way to change around with the EQ, in a way, is with my own IRs for the cabinet, and that might be all I'd need. I'm still staggered by these one knob amps from Bogren in terms of what you can get out of it. Like the way that they EQ it to come in works so well, gets the most out of these amps, and kind of aligns quite well with what you want to get, I think. You might disagree, but there are ways to get around that with external kind of EQing. But as how it comes stock, there's a lot to enjoy and a lot to kind of sink your teeth into. And I think that removal of choice paralysis is more of a blessing than it is a hindrance in terms of how can I access a good sound. You can check out in the description below the link to check out where you can get your hands on this and hear more about it, as well as the BVH as well. Bogren are also giving you the ability to make a bundle at checkout when you buy some of their plugins. I don't get any kickback from it, they're just doing that. I think it's a good deal. They do offer amps that are more in the kind of high gain metally vibe, but with quite a wide range. In the meantime, that is it. That is the video done. I want to know what you thought about this amp in the comments below. I've been Harry, and thanks for watching.